Hello everyone, my name is Justin Egliskis, and today we're going to speak about how 24/7 meditation will change your life. Now, when I say 24/7 meditation, we can start with a story, which is someone does something. Let's say you sit down one day, and you just close your eyes and you focus on your breath for 5 minutes. And you come away from that immediately feeling a little different, right? And then you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. And before you know, it's been years. And any individual, has been doing a practice, and it becomes a bit of a routine, right? There was value seen the first time it was acted upon, and the value has been continuously there. But then, inevitably, if one does not allow for that routine to become mechanical and dull, you see, habits and dullness and routine. Now, simplicity has value, but dullness is not exactly aligned with what we are. We're more so sharp. We're meant to be alive. Sharp, precise, accurate, clean, etc. And when I mean clean, I'm not necessarily, Hitler showered many times a day. Was he psychologically clean? Well, I don't know. So by clean, I'm hinting at accurate, sharp, precise. And what 24/7 meditation is the thing in which I end most episodes with. Why? Because all of life comes down to this one simple thing, which is what happens when we use our awareness to truly observe the movement or the arising of our emotions and our thoughts. Now, what's the use in meditation if, we're calm and we're peaceful for 30 minutes a day? What's the use? Now, some could say, and this is where I started, 30 minutes of soothing calmness is a little different than 24/7 chaos, right? So it is. One step at a time. It surely is one step at a time. But the fact here is that if you're truly aligned with the nature of meditation, the essence of what meditation is, you won't fall into just a simple habitual routine. Now, maybe you practice meditation 30 minutes a day for years. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I am surely implying that is not 24/7 meditation. To sit down as a practice is a practice, which implies some form of will, force, or discipline. And the essence of true meditation is more so effortless, more so gentle and natural. So again, I'm not saying that even 30 minutes of forced, disciplined meditation is bad. I'm not here to say that. Now, will it bring you? Well, is it the same as 24 meditation? Not at all. 24/7 meditation. It isn't. Not at all. But when we look at this, we're really talking about a psychological insight which makes the meaning behind the 24/7 meditation so obvious, evident, and clear. So this insight really is founded upon something of a butterfly effect, of a ripple effect, of a lack of division. That's the place in which we're coming from, right? Compassion. What's the definition of love, right? I have this on my wall, and I don't need to remember it, but let's see. Unconditional love is admiration without attachment. Unconditional love is admiration without attachment. So the main point that I want to build on there is without attachment. And the purpose behind the 24/7 meditation is to see the arising of your thoughts and emotions as they are an extension of your attachment to your sense of self, right? Justin and Justin's beliefs, Justin's preferences, my certain likes and dislikes, etc. You know, whether your name's Sarah, Adam, Jake, Joe, you know, whatever your name is, you have a sense of self. In the structure behind what we are, every single one of our senses of self is exactly the same in relationship to the structure, which is we are not actually the sense of self. We are the thing capable of observing the sense of self, which makes itself known in the form of thought and emotion. When we truly become more sensitive, and this may sprout from a routine of meditation, but inevitably that sensitivity which sprouted from the disciplined meditation will lead you to a place of questioning habit, mechanical nature, and routine itself. So that's an absolutely beautiful thing, which is that life when you're alive is not predictable. And it's like, oh, I meditated, I picked up a habit, only for that habit to make me aware that it's probably time to drop that habit. And this is sort of a similar structure behind anxiety. Because, right, you have a certain pain or fear, which we would describe or label anxiety. And that pain or fear is the movement of your sense of self in the form of thought and emotion. And only when you become sensitive enough to that movement do you realize how it's tearing you apart. And then the sense of self, it's the sense of self, the thought and the emotion attached to the sense of self, which is that anxiety or pain, that awareness of the thoughts, but with a lack of understanding or clarity around the structure and how the entire organism, if you will, is operating. And it's the pain derived from everything I just listed, which leads you to a place of seeing through the sense of self. But there wouldn't have ever been that pain if you saw through the sense of self. So my point is, it's tricky. You don't need to think about anything that I just said, but understand that the structure, which I've just articulated, repeats itself time and time again, where it's like, you know, you wouldn't at all appreciate the tides coming in if the tides didn't go out. And if you never had that anxiety or fear drive via the sense of self and the thought emotion tied to it, then you wouldn't ever see the beauty in having the capacity, the vitality, the sharpness to see through that sense of self. So it's absolutely like I'm in awe, right? When you even articulate this stuff, I don't want to say it's hard to articulate, because that's not at all the case. It's not hard because Justin isn't trying to articulate it. You know, the thing that maybe I could label hard is the observing of when the ego wants to get excited about something that it thinks it knows, right? Because when I share with you guys, it may seem like, how does this guy know what he knows? But the thing is, I don't know anything, because all I know is that wisdom can flow through me when I drop the thing, the person, the idea, the sense of self who thinks that he knows, right? So it's this not humility that's cultivated, but it's this humility that naturally arises when you have a holistic understanding of the structure or the serious game that is life, that is humanity. Because I can't even begin to make this stuff up. It's at like the things that I have seen, and when I say I, I'm not like, wow, me, but I just saw, I was painting. If you're watching the video, I was painting today. I digress. It's like, this isn't coming via Justin. It's coming more so through a holistic understanding of the nature of intelligence. And when you see how intelligence works, not knowledge, but wisdom and intelligence, when you see the nature, the essence behind it, the game becomes more clear and simple. And you realize that the diabolical aspect of life is the part of you which thinks it knows, that part of you which grips onto things because it knows, which is so sure and certain and confident, right? So the confidence I speak about in my offer, in my videos, in everything that I share, is a confidence not at all like the common definition, the societal definition of confidence. It's more so this natural knowing of what we are, seeing the structure clearly, and then that allows for the confidence that intelligence can flow through you, right? And then when you relinquish your pride, then you just start to realize, wait, it's not me, it's actually the lack of me, which allows for the truth to flow. And when that flows, pain is irrelevant. Because even if someone says the worst thing to you, you see the structure of what's happening within them, which allows them or causes them to say that thing. And then instantly you have compassion, because you know the pain that their sense of self is experiencing due to thought and emotion. Because how else would they say such a thing or act in such a way if they saw the nature of intelligence? Because when someone acts in that way, they're moving through the thing which is blocking intelligence. So automatically you know that intelligence isn't present. And that should create, well, it will, if you not understand, but if you see things clearly, it'll create such a compassion in you, such a love. Now immediately your reaction might be aggression or defensive, because your sense of self, your egotistical defense mechanism was triggered. But if you have the sensitivity and the awareness through doing the work, you'll see that triggering, that thought, that emotion, that reaction, that frustration arise instantly. And you'll see it for what it is. And you'll already know that that's that ego arising. And if you just watch it, don't judge yourself for a certain reaction, just watch it. Because the judging of your ego is your ego. But the awareness of your ego isn't the judgment of your ego. The awareness is simply the observing, the watching, the hearing, and learning from the movements, learning from the tension itself. Because that's the book of humanity. That doing this work will teach you so much, because you'll have an insight and you realize that you're the teacher, you're the authority. Like everything I'm saying here is not just in teaching you. Now, maybe something is flowing through me, but you have the capacity to let it flow through you. And therefore, Justin and whatever your name is becomes irrelevant. The sense of self becomes irrelevant when you do this work. It's not at all about like what we achieve, what we become, what we do. It's about how we do what we do. It's about how we live, the quality of our behavior. Our behaviors, our thoughts, and emotions which sprout into our relationships, our connections, our conversations, our interactions with others. And those others are the same as us when you look behind that sense of self. Okay. I feel like that was, sure, I know I could be more precise. I will get more precise. Bear with me. But I'm doing my best. So if you enjoyed, I appreciate you, first of all, sincerely. And now, all I say here is if, YouTube or podcast, I'm writing daily. If you enjoyed this, you'll enjoy the writings. I promise, I guarantee that. So subscribe for free down below, daily writings. You get a free mini course from me as well. And yeah, if something really piqued your interest here, if you have any questions, anything you found most valuable, let me know. Drop a comment, reply. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Let's go.